Rogue Son.
Whew. So, if you didn't catch the other Massiverse video, go check that out. We talk about Radiant Black number 13. But now to the new kid on the block for this collective universe because everybody wants to do that. Rogue Sun by the other Power Ranger, OG Ryan Parrott. Holy fuck! I love the designs of the villains in this.
Yeah, I'm loving everything about Rogue Son right now. Holy shit. This is a series that wow. Like wow. So I guess let's just David, if you want to start here.
So, like the big thing for me right now, all right, is we have this kind of talking ghost spiritual projection of the previous host of the stone, right? The sunstone, where it's kind of used as the morpher because all of these seem to be the ode to Sentai. Um, like I said in the Radiant Black review, all these are kind of like Sentai inspired. We have that that previous host because he got killed while wearing the suit. The host is essentially trapped, right?
Yeah, kind of like reminds me of Doctor Fate.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Um, so we have I and this we're going to skip right to the end here really quick because we need to dissect a lot of shit. So the deal we've made here is if I find your killer and beat them, you will leave me the fuck alone.
He said, "I want you to disappear." He doesn't give a fuck. That's really, bro. You can tell how much your dad does not, how much your son does not like you.
Yeah, I kind of get it. Like you got the brooding teenager here thrust into a world that is seemingly going to get him killed because every fucking host seems to just get brutally beat. It's kind of like a doomed profession. You also have a bunch of basically hillbilly mutant wannabes wanting to murder you on top of it, which honestly is both hilarious and depressing all at the same time. Like there's nothing worse than getting beat up on a Monday morning right before your history test by a fucking half wolf, half alligator, like maybe a little bit of bat dude.
Yeah, like it's funny because I honestly, just like we were talking about with Radiant Black, this one is actually even more realistic because like if this was like no dissing to like anime or manga or anything like that, but if it was anime or manga, this man would have immediately learned how to do all his shit, like immediately. But with this one, we're starting to see like the struggles of just now giving a teenager superpowers. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah,
like
absolutely. So like,
she and you have to understand, like, this is still like a 16-year-old boy. You know what I mean?
mhm.
Like, he's not out here fucking like, like you know what I mean? Like, it feels like because even like Invincible, like, didn't really have much issues with his power. Like, he had issues, but it wasn't like a oh, I'm I can learn quite a bit sort of thing. You know what I mean? It was very This one is like more of like a oh shit, I can't I have to learn this on the fly and shit because it's a struggle for me, right? So I don't know, man. Like it's tough. It's tough because like and I feel really bad for him too because he was thrust into this position. And can we agree? Like, oof, Marcus is an awful dad. Like it's
Oh
crazy.
God.
It's crazy. Like think about it, right in Supermassive, he was like, oh yeah, my dad beat my mom. But he's like, oh yeah, I divorced my wife and then got uh got married and had two other kids, which I'm more proud of than you. Oh, and by the way, the reason why I didn't want my other kids to have it is because I didn't know you, and I want you to be in harm's way, but not my kids. And also, I want you to protect both our families.
Yeah, yeah. The dude's a certified scumbag, like 100%. But the big thing here is, even as much of a scumbag as he is, he seems to at least give a little bit of a fuck. You know, just enough of a fuck to get his end of the deal done, but he still seems to care. Leaving him in this like, I want to know, like I said in the podcast where we covered the first couple issues and like the team up, right? I I really want to know like how the Sunstone affects your life, right? It seems like it transforms everybody into that scumbag. You know, it kind of drives you to ostracize yourself from, or at least the way we've been told in the comics now. It seems to kind of like want you to ostracize yourself from everybody around you and kind of do your own thing. But it seems like Marcus tends to break that mold a bit in creating a whole family out there with the other group, um, but leaving Dylan and his mom just solely alone, right?
Yeah, which is fucked up.
So I wonder if like over time you can overcome that, or if it's just like a one-off kind of thing and Dylan's doomed to repeat the cycle here, or Dylan's doomed to die.
Yeah, because I mean, because he's like, because I like the fact that he was just like, okay, so, because I mean, at that point, like, why? Because I honestly, who would blame Dylan? He was just like, okay, I've never met you before, and now you're telling me to give me this huge responsibility to fucking do whatever, and I'm just like, and he's just like, bro. So if I do what you want me to do, I want you to disappear and die for real because, like, and bro, like reading what he was saying, he was like, and I love it because he was just like, Marcus was like, "Are you really going to die just to spite me?" And I was thinking to myself, I'm just like, you know what? I wouldn't blame him for that because it's true. Because if he died, who would be there to protect his mom and his family? You know what I mean? So it's just like him dying is essentially him putting a target on both of their families. And the sad part is like Marcus knows that like Dylan can't really have a middle ground because he has no choice because he doesn't want his mom to die. You know what I mean? He can fuck about his dad, but he has his mom to worry about. And if he wants to protect his mom, that's going to automatically force him to protect Marcus's new family. So Marcus is a devilish, evil, but smart bastard. And it's just funny. It's like, you know what? I have two new kids that I care for dearly. Oh, wait, I have fucking kids that I left with this wife that I just had a fling with. Oh, let me put him in harm's way. Like, bro, that's hella fucked up. And when he said, here's the truth, I didn't want you to hold the rogue son, the sunstone, because I believe in you. And it's because I didn't know you, bro. That shit fucking hurts. Like that shit fucking like hurts. Like I felt that shit. Like I literally like felt that shit because I'm just like, damn. Like the only reason why you picked him wasn't because like you believed in him, which is your will is utter and complete and utter bullshit. You did it because you don't want to put your kids that you actually love or like or whatever in danger, but you want to put your firstborn in danger. Like holy hell. Like that shit is fucked up. Like wow.
Oh yeah, it
Wow.
it is the ultimate fuck you, and I absolutely adore that kind of storytelling because now we see a absolute shit fuckery of emotions, and I love that human drama that comes out here. That's the one thing that I favor American comics over manga, which we usually cover here. Um, and like I said in the Ring of Black, we're going to be doing some whole behind the scenes thing because this has always been like a multimedia style channel where we cover all sorts of nerdy topics. But we kind of found our thing in manga for a while. Um, but I love that human drama because you're not going to get that in chapter 7065 of Dragon Ball Z. You're going to get more escalation and more escalation and just like immediate cop out power. Here you have to struggle and kind of find your way in the world, and having these two clash in their ideologies as one is trying to figure out like what can I do with this while also trying to deal with their day-to-day lives and kind of I the thing here though, Thurman, is what the fuck? What the fuck are we going to see next? Because now that we have this deal and the little tease at the end here, I just want to tie that in right now. That little tease at the end there, like, are we immediately going into the dude that potentially killed Marcus? Because,
Possibly.
like, if we're doing that, like, we're gonna have a giant story leap here, like really quick, almost like the first arc of Invincible in the span of 3 issues, baby. or the smarter thing, and I think this is what we're going to do. We're going to have him introduced, and he's going to be like the ringleader of like testing Dylan, and therefore kind of testing this human drama here between Marcus and Dylan. Like that's the one there. You're too weak, and then the dude at the end kind of feeding fodder enemies to try and take him down.
Yeah, because I'm legitimately curious to see like why was Marcus killed in the first place. Like what is the goal?
Oh, for sure. Because he seems to be like a symbol of hope, even as fucked as he is in his real life. It's that symbol of hope in the city that most superheroes are. Uh, but at the same time, if they dove into it, it's kind of like it'd be almost like going in and like, well, Punisher's day to day life. He sits back and he just drinks whiskey all day, and you know, because he seems to be like that type of he'd be more the anti-hero at home instead of like on the streets.
Yep.
You know, but the funny part here is like for me, because this is all too relatable. Um, Dylan's penchant to cheat to get through the classes. Like shit, I
Yeah.
overslept. But instead of me going out and fucking beating the shit out of Redneck Wolfman, it was because I played Halo too long the night before.
That shit is funny. That shit is.
It still manages to capture that teenage charm there, Because at the end of the day, like you said, this is still like a 16-year-old kid, you know, trying to live his normal fucking life, while
As a
also
book.
trying to balance, getting his shit kicked in.
Yeah. Hey, bro, gotta take your anger out on you getting your shit kicked in by a wolf somehow.
Yeah, I'm going to sit here and bully the nerd who looks like he pissed his pants.
I love the ultimatum though. He's just like, no worries, kid. If you give me your homework, I'll fucking, I'll make sure you won't get bullied. But if
I'll
you
be the one
don't,
bullying you, but also I'll make sure you won't get bullied by anyone else but me. And also, you're going to be my bitch for the entire school year, basically.
oh my god, I don't condone bullying, ladies and gentlemen.
But you got him, and it's kind of funny.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is.
Uh, but like that set up a nice little side story in the human side of things. But also like going through like, okay, who's the best in this class and this class, or this not even the best. Who's the second smartest in our blank class? He
That's
does. He doesn't want to get straight A's. He wants to squeak by just well enough to not make it look fucking, obvious.
that's really funny.
In hindsight, maybe I should have done that instead.
Oh yeah.
Instead of threatening to stuff the smartest kid in the locker, they didn't give me their fucking homework.
Oh boy, that's really funny. Oh,
I fucking hated going to math class as a kid. I fucking hated it. Because my brain did not comprehend math at all. No matter how much tutoring I took, no matter how much shit, it just did not comprehend math at all.
yeah. I fucking. I would. Oh my god. School with ass, man. I hate it.
And now the ironic part is I use math like pretty much daily at work.
Oh boy, aerodynamics.
Oh, God. You gotta make sure that Tesla gets to its fucking owner and gets their owner there alive in one piece, Can't let the billionaires fuck up and the autopilot fail.
I mean, unless you're racist, then by all means.
uh, but yeah, like the last little bit here that we need to talk about, I think, is the family dynamic between the rest of the family, right?
Yeah, because
Because
I'm
they seem to be like essentially a pseudo damage control for Rogue Sun, like
yeah.
monster
Looks like
cleanup.
Sarah is the only one who's actually fucking trying to essentially be like the savior of the family, so to speak, because everyone else doesn't give a fuck.
Right. It's
'Cause
kind of weird, you
like
know?
it's crazy because I'm legitimately curious to see like why Marcus just up and left his family like that. Like there had to be some reason, right?
Oh yeah.
Because he's making it seem like like his old family doesn't exist and his new family doesn't family. Like he left them everything, but then like only gave Dylan rogue son just to protect them, and he didn't put other kids in harm's way. But he literally, legitimately, literally, left his all his kids. Like, and I'm just curious, like, why? Like, what did she do? Like, what happened to the point to where because remember, she said that he asked her for her number, right? So it's just kind of like, what the hell? Like, there had to be a deeper meaning to all that. To
Oh
all
yeah,
that.
there had to be something go wrong, right? There had to be some sort of like, oh, I fucked up moment, and then he disappeared. You know, it's not like Daddy went for cigarettes and milk. I think a villain threatened to maybe murder the family or something, and that's why he kind of just vanished. I don't think he chose to just kind of blip out of their life. But he might have, you know. He does seem like a certified scumbag.
It made
But
it seem like he did though, because remember, she was just like, she at first she was like, "Oh, I thought he left me just because he's trying to protect us." What she wanted to believe when he had but he got remarried. So I'm just like, bro, what the fuck? Like he got remarried and shit. Like,
yeah, that's
and
the part that gets me. That's the part that gets me. Maybe we'll find out a little bit more about the other mother here and the story between Marcus and her and what happened there.
maybe
But
he was already cheating on her. You never know. I mean, shit.
he might have a third family somewhere else. Who the fuck knows?
Dynamo 5, baby. If you guys don't know the reference to that, there's a character in Image Comics called Dynamo. No, not Mister. I think it was Mister Dynamo or Domino, whatever his name was. And the funny part is that character had an affair with his wife for like 5 different people, and so like the whole thing is about his kids, like his half sibling kids, having like one part of like his superpower. Because this is a hero who had like a bunch of different superpowers. Like he had like invisibility, flight, like super sight, like transformation, like telepathy. Like he was stacked. He was stacked. He was like a combination of like Superman and Martian Manhunter all into one. So it's just kind of like because everyone was like, "Holy shit, bro! Like this man is out here. This man is out here just fucking fucking everything," and he had like a bunch of kids and shit, and it was just kind of like they all had to learn to get together because they were all related to each other. It was just really funny. That's where the joke came from, but it was really because I'm just like because we don't know. Also, differences though. The rogue powers are not hereditary; it's an actual item. So it's kind of like how let's say Ben 10. I mean, that happened before. Ben 10, you don't get the alien powers. You have to pass it down, or you have to give your own version of it to it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the
Yeah,
thing.
it's like passing down the Omnitrix essentially.
Yeah, it's not like invincible where like you'll get the powers through hereditary means. It's different.
Yeah, and I kind of like that. Like it's a tangible object. Like say a villain gets their hands on it, like that's it. That's game over there essentially.
Yes,
Like
sir.
so, we got a lot of nice little setup here at the end. And we also like downside, like I said, in the end of the Radiant Black is like we gotta wait a month, but in the meantime, we'll be doing one on Radiant Red when that comes out next week, right before Comic Con. So that's a fucking that's a whole other part of this like collective universe, and that's what I kind of love about things like this. Is as bizarre as it is, right? As bizarre as it is to kind of have everything be essentially a cinematic universe, for lack of better terms, right? We
Yes.
also kind of have to live in this connected universe state because that's what everybody wants to do. So you got to kind of go down the oh shit, everything's going to be that now, you know.
Yep.
But the other one we have apparently, just because we talked about the supermassive one shot in that one podcast. We also have Dead Lucky coming, and we also have Inferno Girl Red that will be coming to the channel as well.
I'm hyped to read that shit. That shit's going to be dope.
Oh, for sure. Because the design for Inferno Girl Red really is one of the better designs in the Massiverse, to me anyway.
Oh yeah. I'm just curious what her power like fully is going to be, because that's going to be something that I'm curious to see. That
Because we didn't really get a whole lot of her in the crossover, right? It kind of focused more on Rogue Sun, and it kind of focused more on Radiant Black, because those were the two that are, you know, in print now. You got a little bit of a hint at what she can do, but not a whole lot. So
like a full like, and she's from a different universe, so that's something to keep in mind as well.
So like inside this universe, there are multiple universes, which is fucking insane to think about.
Some DC Comics level shit right here, Marvel Comics.
I love it. I love this kind of media, like this, like Sentai inspired cheesy bullshit, but at the same time, like it's kind of been Americanized, like Power Rangers. Like there's so many interesting things going on in this universe. So I hope our normal manga viewers watching this thinking, what the fuck is going on here? I really hope that
this is my Chainsaw Man or my One Piece. Unsubscribe.
I hope that you guys kind of find a little bit of love for this, because we're going to continue talking about this because we fucking enjoy it.
Yep, and that's the most important thing. We appreciate you guys' support, but we're going to talk about what we do, because if we don't, and we're just shilling shit just for not our enjoyment, then what's the point of even having a YouTube channel?
Right. It's how you lead to burnout, and that's where we were heading, like solely focusing on manga reviews. So a little break from it, like we did yesterday as of filming this, like Andrew and I doing the whole kaiju tier list, and then us spitballing about, you know, doing toxic fandoms tier lists, and then now hopping into this, like that. I love it. I love that. I love this kind of shit. I am going to continue focusing more on this too, while also doing like manga shit and all sorts of other nerdy stuff. So stay tuned for all of that. But until the next issue of Rogue Sun, if that's why you're here, peace.
Peace.